You're going to get an equation just like number one, maybe even a little bit more complicated. Now, at first thought, you say to yourself, oh my God, this is ridiculous, I can't do this. But the truth is that you can, because, and the reason it's so easy is because of your calculator. I just want to make sure that you are well aware of, I want to make sure you're well aware of how to do this on your calculator. So, if you take a look at this, the first thing I want to do here is I want to get all my x's together, so I have to subtract 1/4 x. Now, let's make sure we're able to do this on our calculators. Did everybody do this on your calculator? Mm-hmm. Right? Now, first off, I can just look at this and I know off the top of my head that this is going to be 2/8. So when I subtract, I'm going to get 5/8 x. But if you're not good with fractions off the top of your head, that's not a problem. Remember what we said, what do you always need when you use parentheses with a calculator? No, what do you always do with the fractions with a calculator?
Put them in parentheses.
Put them in parentheses, good. So I'll do parentheses 7 divided by 8 parentheses, minus parentheses 1 divided by 4 parentheses. Everybody do that. Now, if you did it before and you came out with the right answer, you don't need to do it now. But if you didn't do it before, then you need to do it now. That way I'm sure that you understand how to do this. And at the end, when you hit equals, it probably says a decimal. Okay, now go to math, enter, enter. Hit the, there's a button that says math. I think it's on the middle right. Right? Left, okay, middle left, so math, and then enter, enter. Now, do you see how it converts it to a fraction? Okay, Sarah, did you catch on to it now? Okay. So when you do that, you get your 5/8. Now, let's do, guys, let's do the same thing with the 2/3 and the 4. Add 2/3 to both sides, and that becomes 4 and 2/3. Okay? What's that? All right, so now what I need to do is divide by 5/8. So what I would do at this point with the calculator is I would do, there's a couple of different ways to go with this. Maybe the easiest thing is to convert this to a mixed number or improper fraction. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 2 is 14 over 3. You could do it on your calculator, 3 times 4 plus 2 over 3, and then put that in with parentheses. So do 14 divided by 3, parentheses around both ends, right? Then I need to do divided by, so use your divided by symbol, and then parenthesis 5 divided by 8 parentheses. And then when you hit equals, again you get an ugly looking decimal. But what do you do to change that ugly decimal into a fraction? Math, enter, enter. Go ahead, hit math, enter, enter again. And what does it tell you x is?
112 equals 15.
112 over 15. And there's your answer. Remember I said, learn to leave your answer like that? It's perfectly acceptable. Yes?
I got to where I got 14 over 3 and then I got lost. Like,
14 over 3?
yeah.
Then you would do divided by. Look, then you would do divided by. Then you would do again, you got to do 5/8. So it's parenthesis 5 divided by 8 parentheses. Okay? All right, so what this was supposed to be able to show you was that, guys, we need your focus. The whole point behind everything I just did was to show you don't panic when you see the fractions. If you had to go through and do this question all on your own and test your fraction abilities, I could see you saying, oh my God, I haven't done this since like 6th grade. I don't even remember this stuff. And also there's so many calculations to it. But the truth is the calculator will do it for you if you just remember every time you use a parenthesis, a fraction, you've got to put it in parentheses. Okay, now the next part says to use an area diagram for this product. And this is the one that a couple of you guys had a little bit of a problem with on the homework. So this will serve to go over that as well. Okay, so it's an area question in the sense that this side is 2x squared minus 5x plus 3, and this is x minus 4. And each of these little squares, or rectangles, whatever they are, represents an area per se. So x times 2x squared is 2x cubed. So the area of this little piece here is 2x cubed. This piece in the middle will be minus 5x squared, because x times negative 5x is negative 5x squared, okay? This piece here is 3 times x, so it's positive 3x. Now, I'm going a little quickly here, and what I'm kind of glossing over and not emphasizing, and I should be emphasizing, is the importance of writing the sign. You see that negative 5x squared and that positive 3x? Don't just put 5x squared. Be sure to attach whether it's positive or negative. We kind of don't worry about it in the first box because it's a positive x times a 2x squared, so we kind of assume positive there. Everything else we want to write it in. Negative 4 times 2x squared is negative 8x squared. Negative 4 times negative 5x is what? Is it positive or negative? So make sure you write the positive 20x. And then over here, I get positive 3 times negative 4. What is that? Negative 12. Now, the thing you have to remember is the future peanut. You're actually going to get 2 of them here. They can be combined. You're going to always add on the diagonal. So the first box will have no like terms, so it's going to be 2x cubed. This will be negative 5x squared and negative 8x squared, which is negative 13x squared. This will be 3x and 20x, which is plus 23x. And then at the end, I get minus 12. And that's my answer. Notice the answer is a polynomial. We really don't have a special name for a polynomial with 4 terms. Okay, if it's 3 terms, it's called a trinomial. If it's 2 terms, it's called a binomial. 1 term is called a monomial. Okay? Or mono like monotheism. That means that there's one belief in one God. Or the other one would be monogamy. You know what monogamy is? As opposed to polygamy. Monogamy is when there's one husband, one wife. And polygamy is like in Mormonism, you can have more than, right, yeah. Why would you ever do that? But I know, right? So, but polygamy means that you can be married to more than one spouse, and monogamy means one spouse. Okay, so mono meaning one. Now, let's talk, guys, let's talk a little bit about some things, Andre, that we already know. Look, I know how to distribute this. I'm going to distribute the x. What do I get? X squared plus 3x. Good. Now, come over here. Let's distribute the 5. What do I get?
5x plus 15.
Plus 15. Now, take a look carefully at the next question. X plus 5 times x plus 3. It's like this one combined with this one. We're now going to do what I like to call double distribute. There are some teachers in the high school, in fact, there are a lot of teachers all over the place who like to call this FOIL. And when you call it FOIL, it makes it sound like a gimmick, or it makes it sound like a trick. And one of the things I really like to do with math is make it make sense. You already know how to distribute. What I'm going to do is distribute both of these. So in my mind, I cover up the plus 5. And all I'm going to do first is distribute the x. X times x plus 3 is this exact previous question. I get x squared plus 3x. Again, called double distribute because I'm distributing twice. Now I'm going to cover up the x. What kind of 5 is this?
Positive.
So I'm going to distribute the 5, which is the second half of this, which comes out to be plus 5x plus 15. Now, do you remember when you did the box method, you could always add on the diagonal? In this case, you're always going to be able to add the 2 terms in the middle. What are 3x's and 5x's? 8x's. So my final answer is x squared plus 8x plus 15. Okay? So once again, in double distribute, what I do is I cover up the second term, distribute the first one in red. Then I cover up the first term, distribute the second one in blue. And then I always make sure in green that I'm able to combine the like terms that are in the middle. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, you guys try the next one. Sorry, I'll get this graded 7th period. Okay, so if I distribute the 2x here, what's 2x times x? 2x squared, good. And then what's 2x times 9? Guys, what is it? 18x, good. All right, so now I'm going to switch off to covering up the 2x, but be careful, what kind of 7 is that? All right, so what's negative 7 times x? Negative 7x. And then what's negative 7 times positive 9? Negative 63. And now I can always combine the terms in the middle because they're like terms. So the final answer is what? Guys, what do we get? 2x squared plus 11x minus 63. Nice. Questions? Okay, try the last one. Okay, so I distribute the 4n, and 4n times 3n is 12n squared. 4n times negative 7 is minus 28n. Now I cover up the 4n and distribute the negative 1. I get minus 3n plus 7. So my final answer is 12n squared minus 31n plus 7. Now how many people got that right? Okay, most of the class, pretty much everybody. Now here's the deal. If you like the box method more, you can use the box method. If you like double distribute more, you can use double distribute. I will tell you one thing. Over the course of time, you're going to want to get to the point where you can do it this way with the double distribute. Because these are eventually going to be put in equations, and you don't normally draw boxes in equations. But for now, whichever way you're most comfortable with works. Any questions?
Those are your
Okay.